Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mundane Matt, and Twitter apparently is serious business, right? It's serious business depending on who you talk to. Now, a lot of people treat Twitter as what I believe it's intended for, short form shitposting. And of course, the sharing of information, albeit usually without any subtlety, nuance, or context. That's a lot of what Twitter's become these days. Oddly enough, so is YouTube to some extent. But that being said, Twitter is very much a powerful entity in the communication game, and it's more often than not used as a weapon against somebody's opinion. Somebody tweets the wrong thing, they lose their job, like with Colin Moriarty in 2 weeks ago with Kind of Funny Games. There are multiple examples, like Milo Yiannopoulos last summer getting targeted for the whole Leslie Jones thing that he didn't do, but they blamed him for anyway. I mean, it's always happening, always happening. But what if Twitter was the method used for what could be determined or called attempted murder? Now that's a fucking new one, and it happened kind of. Well, at least depending on how you look at it, I should say, from back in December, where Newsweek journalist Kurt Eichenwald had a tweet sent to him that was a strobing light in hopes of triggering an epileptic seizure and effectively killing him. This was sent by a Twitter user by the name Jew Goldstein. It's Twitter. People get fucking creative. Now, the person behind Jew Goldstein was a person I honestly thought that they were never going to find the guy, right? Like, because trolling on Twitter happens, and can you honestly say that sending somebody a flashing strobe gif is going to send them into a seizure? It could potentially kill them. You wouldn't think that it could happen. You wouldn't think that at all, but it did. And apparently, according to Kurt's wife, it did send him into a seizure. And many people at the time didn't believe it, and many still don't. But Kurt filed a report with the police through Dallas Police Department, and they started looking into it as an attempted murder. And they tracked the guy down. Now, his name is John Rivello. He is 29 years old. He is from Salisbury, Maryland. And how they got him was really interesting, actually. So what they did is they contacted Twitter, and they basically said, hey, this guy sent this tweet. He was threatening, kind of hurt against somebody. It worked. We need to get his information. And Twitter was like, here you go. And they sent it off, right? So they figured out that it was a phone number on an Apple iPhone used to validate the account. Well, then further looking into it, they realized that it's a burner account, right? That it's a burner phone. And so then what happened was the police then went to AT&T, who retained all that data, and they were able to then track down the person who purchased the AT&T data package, and they found Jew Goldstein. And here's where it gets interesting. So John is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, which is so weird to think that that is Twitter, that a tweet is now considered a deadly weapon. Right? But then again, anything could be considered a deadly weapon if wielded in the right way. How many times have you heard stories from people in the military that are like, I can kill a guy with a spoon? Stuff you wouldn't assume is a weapon was used with malice of intent here. The tweet, the strobing gift says, you deserve a seizure for your posts. He then tweeted out, I hope he dies. When the police got into his iCloud, they discovered screenshots of his Wikipedia page edited to say date of death, December 16th, 2016. You can argue a lot that this would be done for the lulz. But in a court of law, there is intent. There is intent. It was shown. There's evidence there. It's going to be used against them. And that does fall into the whole idea where you have internet culture versus reality, and where do they collide? We still don't fully know that. We are in uncharted territory here, and that is both interesting and frightening, because you can argue that our society has devolved to the point of where a tweet is considered a deadly weapon. But at the same time, going to court, I don't think he's going to be convicted of these charges. To be honest with you, I don't think that's going to happen. I think because of the nature of this, because of everything, even though the evidence is to an extent showing malice of intent, I think he'll be able to argue it down as, how did I know what he was saying was true? Right? How did I know that Kirk was going to be epileptic? He says he was epileptic, but he could be lying. We have no way of knowing. And I was just trolling him. LOL. It was done for the lols. Right? It could, those arguments even to themselves hold weight, because they do. They could be reasonable arguments made by the defense. But it's such a weird situation. I mean, it is a weird situation, and it's one that I don't know where it's going to go. I feel John Rivello committed a crime. I think he had malice of intent to commit that crime. Whether or not he's going to use the "it was for the lols" argument, I think there was intent. And I think he's going to experience the long dick of the law to an extent. But I don't think he's going to be charged, or I don't think he's going to be convicted of this crime. I think he'll plead down, right? That is, unless the judge looks at the fact that he did violate cyberstalking laws and wants to throw the book at him, because I haven't really been able to like do that in a lot of these cases. And they want to fucking set an example, and they want to like make him the poster boy for how to fuck up on Twitter, you know? That could be a thing as well. And he might get the maximum sentence, whatever that is. I don't know. The article doesn't say. But I do want to know your guys' thoughts of this. Do you think that a tweet is considered a deadly weapon? Could a tweet be considered a deadly weapon? In the way that it was used, should it be taken seriously? And I think the responses in this video are going to be interesting. I think they are. And I'm very curious to know what you guys have to say. So what are your thoughts? Like, legitimately, honestly, what are your thoughts? Go ahead and write it down in the comments below. My name is, of course, Mundane Matt. If you haven't already, thumbs up the video, subscribe if you're new. Check out my my vlog channel up here, my movie news channel right here. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and I guess tweet responsibly. Although many of you won't, and that's okay too.